Mother Maria Lucrezia Zileri, the woman of faith and courage, a woman with a vision who was able to see what is beyond the present time. Continuation of the series of the biographical notes of the servant of God, Madre Maria Lucrezia Zileri. On November 12, 1868, Mother Lucrezia became an orphan of her mother. The esteemed and pious lady had been called to the celestial prize. How much suffering her daughter must have felt in her heart, this is not to say. However, the conformity of her will to the will of God was so strong that despite of the terrible sorrow, her soul was able to remain calm and serene. Nevertheless, her divine spouse gave her immense joy. Count Giulio, her most beloved father, who remained a widower, renounced the world and took on the ecclesiastical habit. Thereafter, he was ordained priest. Drusilla enjoyed listening to one of the masses celebrated by her father in Collegio Sant'Orsola, and of receiving the Holy Communion from his hands. Her brother, her sister-in-law, and their children were present. Afterward, Count Giulio joined the Society of Jesus and became Father Giulio. At the beginning of the school year in 1871 to 1872, the direction of the boarding school was entrusted to Sister Zileri. She understood all the responsibilities in that office, even more so that soon she realized earlier that in the boarding school, the girls, though not numerous, were the daughters of the noble and distinguished families. They have been brought up to a life that lacks a discipline and to a spirit of worldliness. She made a program based on the educational tradition of the boarding school, family and motherly system, winning the hearts of girls to bring them to God. There is nothing to be changed, at least in the beginning, but a lot to observe. Sooner, the girls realized that a watchful eye always followed them, that they had a high regard and affection for their educator. However, Sister Maria Lucrezia felt that a help from above was needed, and she supported the project of establishing in her boarding school the Marian congregation, which was a blessing that refreshed and invigorated the tender shoots. From that point, the boarding school became the favorite garden of the Blessed Virgin Mary and Mother Zileri, the garden that blossomed and gave abundant fruits. Several of those young girls consecrated themselves to God, and many became exemplary Christian wives and mothers. Meanwhile, the good mother also became a mistress of the novices, who was observing and studying. Her community was good and fervent, but was not bound with religious vows to God and the Church. The Ursulines were virgins dedicated to God with the vows of chastity and stability in the institute, but this was no longer enough for the aspirations of the new spouses of Christ, who wanted to give everything to Him and at the same time to work in the vast fields of the apostolate. This was the secret vow of some of the companions of Mother Zileri, a vow that was well known and shared by her. Her prayers were dedicated to this purpose. In 1886, when a 99-year-old and almost blind Mother Tardiani laid down the heavy weight of the office of the superior, everybody, young and old, saw in Mother Zileri the choice of God to take over the government of the institute. In the first years of her first office as a superior, in 1886 to 1891, nothing new was introduced. So much was counted on the opinion of the councillors, especially that of Mother Tardiani, who surrounded her with affection and filial respect. Mother Zileri was a mother to all, more with love than with authority. She instilled more the spiritual things and the exact observance of the rules with example rather than with words, so that all gave her a filial trust. In prayer and the study of ancient domestic traditions, the plan to reanimate her institute with a new breath of life, orienting it towards the new needs of the society for the glory of God and the good of souls, was developing. To this end, she collected the very edifying memories preserved in the archive of the house on the life of Vittoria de Contimasi, so that she says, taking inspiration from the examples of our mother foundress, and with ever greater enthusiasm of heart, we continue to live according to the spirit of our institute. Mother Zileri never demanded anything new from the elders. For the young ladies who were ardent and have entered into the covenant of being true religious, this booklet was a radiant light which seemed to give new wings of fervor. In San Michelino, in the new holiday house of the boarding school, Mother went to educate her novices to poverty and detachment. Before they could adapt themselves to the place, the house was not able to accommodate the whole community. Therefore, Mother assigned the first floor to the boarders, and the attic was reserved for herself, for her novices, and for the young sisters, which was the reason of joy for them, who, with the spiritual enjoyment of holy poverty, they continue to be formed to the practice of virtues and to a life which was fully communal, to which Mother wanted to restore in full vigor. Another aim that Mother Zileri had set was to give back to her institute its original autonomy, since, as of 1873, the government commission presided over the administration and the direction of the school of St. Ursula's College, following the decree signed by Vittorio Emanuele II on August 2, by virtue of which the college itself from its beginning has been administered as a lay institution owned by the Ursuline ladies, which became under the control of the royal government. In 1893, 20 years later, a second decree was issued which prohibited the appointment as teachers of the ladies belonging to the dissolved association of the College of St. Ursula, which they could no longer increase in number. Mother Zileri remained calm and urged a fervent prayer, placing herself and her community under the patronage of Saint Joseph. Then, through Honorable Bassetti, the father of a boarding school girl, the decree was revoked and the rights of the association in full force was recognized. Neither did it pay for this, for she decided to claim the perfect autonomy from the government. She was able to obtain it fully following the process that was against the government. The very delicate cause was dealt with the assistance of Avvocato Corso Donati of Florence at the civil court of Parma. The sentence was the one desired. On June 24, 1898, the court declared that the College of St. Ursula is a lay institution of private foundation. The Venerable Mother once again achieved full victory. The series of the biographical notes of the servant of God, Mother Maria Lucrezia Zileri, will be continued in the next video.